I'm Graham Woodward. This year I turned 40. This is my midlife crisis, and these are my first impressions of the iPhone 10. Right, before we start any of this, I'm going to put out a disclaimer, okay? Before people start commenting, yeah, but Graham, you're just this Apple fanboy, man. You're just going to say great stuff about the iPhone 10 because you love Apple. Can I just put something straight? Okay, before this iPhone 6s Plus, I had Android for about 3-4 years, and I loved Android, but I love iOS more. It's just I prefer that experience. Having said all that, is the iPhone 10 perfect? No, of course it isn't. Is it worth £1,000? Is any phone worth £1,000? No, I would suggest, especially when it's been made by some Chinese kids for about 20p in a sweatshop. But you know, I got it, I'm happy with it, and I'll tell you all about why. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Face ID. Obviously it's been causing quite the hoo-ha, people thinking that all of a sudden we don't need thumbs and we're going to evolve with just these little stubs all of a sudden because there's no more reason to touch your phone with your thumb. Personally, I think it's great. It works really well. It's very easy to do. All you kind of do is move your head in a circle to set it up. You have to just do that a couple of times and boink, you're ready to go. Works great. It works. It's worked for me constantly. I've had no trouble with it in the dark. I've had no trouble with it in the light. I've had no trouble with it outside in the sun when we've had any, which hasn't been very often over here, but still it has worked in the sun when we've had it. So for me, Face ID is great. It knows when I'm looking at it. It knows when I've got my eyes shut. So no one's going to be kind of unlocking my phone in my sleep. It just works. Easy to set up, easy to use. Do I miss using my thumb on the phone? No, not really. Does it bother me that I have to lift it up to look at it? No, not really. Does it bother me that I have to lift it up to look at it? No, not really. It's not the most intense exercise I've ever done. So I can live with it, if I'm perfectly honest. So next thing I want to talk about is the screen. So we've now gone to OLED. Here it is. So we've now gone to an OLED screen, and it is a beautiful screen. I have to say, it's a really, really good looking screen. The colours are great. True Tone really does work quite well, I think. Ooh, excuse me. True Tone really does work well, I think. Is it the greatest screen on a phone ever? No. Is it the greatest screen on an iPhone? Yep, almost certainly. The notch. Now the notch is going to be an issue for some people. It's not really an issue for me. I don't know if that's just me thinking, oh God, I can't make it an issue because I've just, forked out £1,000 on a phone. But honestly, for me, it's not really a big deal. When you watch videos on YouTube, for example, it will cut it into the original size, so it doesn't take up the whole screen, although you can zoom. The thing that bothers me about that isn't so much the notch, it is the fact that when you zoom, you're losing bits of the top of the picture and bits of the bottom of the picture because of the aspect ratio. That for me is a bigger issue than the notch, so I tend not to do it. Does that negate the fact that this screen is bezel-less? Perhaps, but it is what it is, and to me it's not a massive deal for me. For you it might be. I suggest if you're not sure, go and have a look, go and have a play with one in the store, in your local store, see what you think about it. If it bothers you, don't go with it. The iPhone 8, the iPhone 7, the iPhone 6 even, they're still great phones, but for me it's not a big deal. I do love the look of it, I do enjoy it, so that's that. Next thing is gestures. So because we've got no home button anymore, what we have to do is gesture everything. So home is now just a swipe up from the bottom, simple as that. If you want to go to that, you have to swipe up and stop. See what I've got open there. Then just swipe back up to go out. To switch apps, you just go in and you just swipe along the bottom. Okay. Now some people I saw over the weekend when they were doing their first impressions were saying that you can no longer swipe up to get rid of apps, but you can. So all you have to do is you swipe up halfway, open the app drawer, give it a little press till these red circles appear, then you can just exit by pressing them, or you can swipe up to get rid of them like that. Simple as that. For me, if you struggle with being able to swipe your thumb up rather than press a button, or move left and right rather than press a button, maybe smartphones aren't for you anyway. Not a big deal for me, I've got to say. Took 5 minutes to get used to it, it really did. It's quite intuitive, if I'm perfectly honest. I don't think there's any massive deal with it. I actually quite enjoy it. Makes it quite easy to, it's quite easy to use. I don't have any real issues with it. Again, you might love to have that button. You might be so used to buttons that you really struggle not to use them. So again, I suggest go into a store, have a look, have a play with it, have a swipe around. If you're finding it's not intuitive to you, maybe it's not for you. One slight problem I've had was with video. I took my kids to Music Live, Professional Music Technology in Birmingham over the weekend. I just took some little video I was going to use for B-roll, for whatever it was going to be for. And some of it turned out perfectly, and it was like this. But then some of it was awful, and I don't know what happened, but it turned out like this. So I'm not sure whether that second lot of videos was something to do with the interference from all the kind of electronics and the synths and all that kind of stuff that were around. But having said that, it even had that issue outside when I filmed the front of the building, as you saw, and it didn't have that difficulty when I was sort of in the room next door with the guitars and upstairs with the drums. So I don't know what that is. I haven't been able to do it again. I haven't been able to repeat that, so I have no idea what that issue was, but touch wood, hasn't happened again, and hopefully it won't. If it does, I shall let you all know. Otherwise, I think you'll agree, video looks pretty beautiful. The stabilisation it works a charm. I've had no issues with it. I haven't done a great deal of taking videos, so I'll come back with more information about that as and when I use it a bit more. But so far it's been great. So last thing I want to talk about, slightly away from the phone now, but if you saw my unboxing, you'll have seen that I had a Gear 4 case, and I was going to tell you a little bit about that. I can tell you it was crap, so I got rid of it. Basically, it was really uncomfortable to hold. The flip part of it was really sharp and not very pleasant to hold, and the way it covered the speaker, it actually covered the speaker grill, and so people couldn't hear me speaking, which I'm sure they were quite happy about, but still not ideal. So what I went with, I took it back to Carphone Warehouse and I got this Tech 21 Evo Tactical, just here. So this isn't a flip style one, but it's nice and rugged, really tough on the sides. I don't think this is going to be an issue. It keeps it nice and slim. Like I said, I'm not doing a drop test, with this phone, but if someone else does it with this, then let me know, but I'm not going to do it myself. But nice little case, does the job. I could do with getting a screen protector, so that'll be the next thing I get, but as for now, lovely. Nothing more to say about that really. So that's it. If you enjoyed that, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about me, good stuff if possible. And if you're interested in how I make these videos and what I use, then you can watch my first video. I shall post a link around here somewhere, hopefully. Just click on and have a look. Also a bit of an advert from my stepson, who does some great videos about gas masks, so I'll post a kind of link to him just there. Have a look, he's a good lad. He's only 11, but he likes World War II gas masks, so that's cool as far as I'm concerned. Give him a look. So that's it. So for now, take care of yourselves and I hope to see you soon. If you have anything you want to ask me, post it in the comments. If you want to say horrible things, post it in the comments. If you want to say good things, post it in the comments. If you'd like to see me do anything, post it in the comments. Okay, take care. Bye.